hit it. Welcome to another season. Are you ready for some football? I know I'm ready for some football, and you are listening to the season kickoff of Bras, Panties, and Sports. Let's get rocking for a new season. I'm Spitface, and please welcome the lady with the mostest, the first lady of sports talk. That's right, the first lady of sports talk, Cheryl Smith. Welcome back, Cheryl.
Good morning. It's good to be back. And yes, I am ready for some football. I mean, so much has happened in the off season, so now we're ready to get started.
Oh, yeah. You know, First Lady, last time we looked, Joe Biden was running for president.
Boy, how things have changed.
It's like, man, you know, he kind of remind me now of one of those, Hall of Famers who are like at the end of their career, and they're, and you know that they're gonna like they waited to the darn near the season over to go. Well, I think this will be my last year. And the fans be all upset because they're like, well, man, I would have made that game, knowing that it was gonna be your last game. Well, Biden ain't quite like that. We ain't that into no presidents, but okay. But things is a change. Things is a changing. The women whip butt in the Olympics. They was whipping. I saw them personally. They was whipping butts.
It's the year of the women. Definitely the year of the women.
It's always the year of the woman. Y'all just letting us in on the secret. Now, this week on Shout Out, we have performances from a woman, Sophia Bromberg. I think I remember some Brombergs with jazz. Will she find her shining star, get the cold feel of the beat button? First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as Patrick Surtain II is flying far, far away from his fellow defensive backs to the top of the paid list. The Denver Broncos put their money where their mouth is and gave Surtain a $96 million 4-year contract with a whopping $75 million guaranteed. Surtain's 6'2" frame allows him to match up with bigger wideouts, while his athleticism provides the speed to stick with the speedsters. The 24-year-old is among the few quarterbacks in the National Football League with the skill set to travel with any receiver. With a suspect offense, does this signal they are building their strength around defense? The competition will be ferocious in the AFC West. Will the Broncos be able to make any noise in their division? Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Make some noise. Oh, well, we'll get to that later. Let's just say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. His father, Patrick Surtain Sr., was a 3-time Pro Bowl quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. So Patrick Surtain II was destined to be great. He already has 2 Pro Bowl selections and only been in the league for 3 years. I mean, Surtain is regarded as the team's best offensive player and probably their best player, and he will anchor their defense. Now, his 5th-year option was picked up by Denver earlier this year, but the Denver Broncos, they realize it's better to re-sign your asset now before they play on that last year of their contract to avoid holding out during the preseason next year. Just look at all the players that held out this year. I think that's the reason why they wouldn't sign Patrick Surtain II. And furthermore, he definitely would have been a highly sought-after free agent. So they had no choice but to sign this man. I mean, you don't allow a great defensive player like him to go and you don't re-sign him. I know it cost them a lot of money, but they had to do what they had to do. And unfortunately for the Broncos, that Russell Wilson fiasco cost them $85 million in dead cap for the next 2 years. So it's difficult for them to build a good team to compete in the AFC West. Now, Sean Payton, he was determined, and I mean really, really determined, to make this roster over to fit his style. I mean, he's the Broncos' fourth head coach since 2021. I mean, that's a lot of coaching. He drafted Bo Nix.
4 coaches and ain't even been 4 years?
Yeah, we're right. 4 coaches in 2021. He drafted Bo Nix with a 12th pick, which you know, many pundits thought he was drafted way too high. But he will be, now listen to this now, he will be their starting quarterback, which will be the 14th quarterback since they won the Super Bowl in 2015. That's a lot of quarterbacks.
Peyton Manning was the quarterback?
Says Peyton Manning. I mean, needless to say, the Broncos have had issues finding the right quarterback since Peyton Manning. Yes. But so far, Nix has looked good in training camp and the preseason. Now, the main takeaway is that Bo Nix fits Sean Payton's offensive schemes, whereas Wilson was not a fit. And that's the reason why he got rid of Wilson. He just didn't fit what he likes to do. Now, however, with Jerry Jeudy, he's gone. Cortland Sutton is their top receiver. Denver's skill positions really are not as spectacular as their competition within their division. But their offense should be better because Peyton has the players to fit his system. And that's the key thing. You know, Peyton is an offensive guru, so so to say they're building around their defense, nah, I don't think so. Even though they signed Surtain, I don't think they're building around the defense. You know, with Sean Payton, it will always be the offense. He is the offensive guru. He didn't look like a guru when he had Russell Wilson. But now that he has Bo Nix, I expect him to look like a guru again. I mean, their defense should be improved. I mean, let's face it, Spitface, to be honest, anything is an improvement when they gave up that 70 points to the Dolphins, okay? Anything is an improvement.
Faida said, if you just lose, that was an improvement.
No, they gave up 70 points.
But when you give it away 70 burgers to people, oh, no. No. They gave away 70 points for that. So to me, their offense actually did get better during the end of the season, so it should be an improvement. The thing is for the Broncos, once they alleviate that dead money cap, the Broncos will be able to add better skill players to their offense, and this team will be more competitive in the next 3 years, 3 years from now. This division, the AFC West, is way too deep for them now. The Chiefs can three-peat. The Chargers and the Raiders will substantially improve so unfortunately the Broncos will not make any noise. And to be honest with you, they will be last in their division with a losing record, and they will not make it to the playoffs. So they made it to the playoffs last season, right? I believe they did, even with Russell. Did they make it last season? I don't think they made it.
They didn't make it? No, okay, they didn't make it. I mean, but they almost was in contention, if I'm not mistaken, because, people talked about Russell Wilson so badly. He didn't have a bad season. It's just that his coach didn't want him there. But anyway, regardless of, they're going to have a losing record this year. So they'll have a losing record, and they will not make the playoffs. I don't know why I thought they made the playoffs last year. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, maybe they was in contention, I guess. But things should be looking up for them. Sean Payton, he has a hefty payday from the Broncos, so I don't see them getting rid of him anytime soon. They're going to let him work his magic. So they'll be better, I think, in 3 more years. But they still got that dead cap. But we'll see. We'll see how they do. But they're not going to make any noise. They're going to be awfully quiet. All right, Faith, over to you.
I'm going to push back a little bit on the Broncos not making any noise, because they will make some noise. Ouch. That's the noise that you will hear from the Broncos. Ouch. And now here, I'm going to give you a little something, the Bronco fans. That ouch will be learning pains as Peyton builds a contender that can be sustainable, for some time, and have an opportunity, to actually be in contention when the big boys in the West, finally start to slide down a little bit. So there's going to be some ouch moments, but they're the kind of ouch moments that come from learning and building. And one of the big signs of you learning and building, you don't give away your top players. You go ahead and pay them, and because continuity is the thing. 4 coaches in less than 4 years, you at some point you gotta boom. You gotta get something in concrete where where players, organizations can look up and say, look, we're gonna have to ride this pony, to the end of the road. Not kick it down the curb at the first bump. So Bronco fans, that AFC West is just some bad mamma jammas. In your division, you got the Super Bowl champs. You got my man coming into San Diego to get them Chargers sparked up, and they already had skills, and then who knows what the Raiders gonna do? How they say, an enigma wrapped in a question, surrounded by a mystery. So we never know what the Raiders gonna do. But they're still a little bit better team than the Broncos, with whatever the confusion they're gonna cause, But I tip my certain, 75 million guaranteed. My man, keep your money wisely. Keep your money wise. We don't hear no stories, okay, dude? Keep your money wisely. It's a good thing. All right, that's it first. That's all I got.
Oh, well, their record last year was 8-9, and they actually got eliminated. I think it was around December 31st. So they had a chance. I know at one point they had gone on a little winning streak, so they did have a chance. But when the Steelers and somebody else won, it eliminated the Broncos from the playoffs. But they're not going to have a chance this year. That's definitely not. So, like I said, as bad as
the chances.
Sean Payton didn't like Russell Wilson, I mean, he played halfway decent, so considering. But we'll see. I just don't think this team, they're going to, like when they get rid of that dead money cap, they can build around Bo Nix and their defensive player, Patrick Surtain, and second, and they should be much, much better. Should be promising days ahead for the Denver Broncos. All right, Spitface, over to you.
All right, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear. Explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering. Wrecking shops when I drop these lyrics that make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that all get sliced and diced. Competition paying a price. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. We are talking about the knockout punch to the Florida State Gators by the Miami Hurricanes. The Hurricanes came into the swamp like they had the wind to their backs and a bat to provide a whooping. I mean, they came in like Hurricane Bear, whoop, whoop. Miami has broken into the top 25 and is sitting at number 12. While the Gators have went the other way. Is this a tale of the unpredictability of college football or analysts not knowing their asses from a hole in the wall, in the ground? Leroy Satchel Paige Walker to Buck Leonard and James Cool Papa Bill are asking, what you saying? First Lady, it isn't, I'm not going to put down the professionals who do all the analytical work and prognosticating around college football. And part of that is that they are honoring a time tradition, which is not knowing what the hell they talking about. and this is not a new phenomenon. This ain't new. College, see, there was a time when there was some, I'll just say, predictability, but that actually was an illusion. And I'm talking about time when you had, Nebraska was winning and, and Ohio State been winning. But there were certain teams that was all, so you kind of had that. And then things expanded, got more competitive and more interesting, to tell the truth. And, but the model has always been the same. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. And part of that is that, the level of competition is, this is not the NFL, where the level of competition is really pretty damn close. Losing teams in the NFL teams, there's various reasons, but when it comes to the talent, there's just, someone who's exceptional in the NFL is exceptional because everybody runs fast. Everybody got to meet certain characteristics. You just don't make it. So you are elite. Well, in college football, it can be so many swings in talent between the teams playing, even the, quote, ranked teams. You cannot tell. But they have, like I said, they are masters at this time-honored tradition of hocus pocus and mirrors, like they know what these teams gonna do, and that's why I go Coach Sanders. He of the Neon Dion category. Watch out, 'cause he gets the game. He gets the game. And just watch out. First Lady, but they good. I like her. I love them college, the games and the announcers and stuff. And, I just love the fans. They just got so much energy, And, so I like that. First Lady. Go ahead.
So you try to say the analysts don't know what they're talking about. That's basically what you're saying. Okay.
Well, I'm saying they never have.
No, they never have. Okay. Well, firstly, this was the first time the Gators lost their home season opener since like 1989. Prior to that, they had won 34 straight home opening wins. And let's face it, the Hurricanes are a much better team than the Gators. They're ranked higher. The Gators are not even ranked. The Gators have been dismal since Steve Spurrier left. It's been 15 years since the Gators were a championship caliber program. They haven't had a winning record in 2 years. Their coach, Billy Napier, has a 11-15 record in 2 years with the Gators. He's lost 15 games, whereas Spurrier has lost 27 games in 12 seasons. So, so the Gator fans in the swamp, they're basically drowning in that swamp right now with the poor play of their team. And Napier is definitely on the hot seat. If he doesn't have a winning record, I expect him to be fired. Now, the Hurricanes probably has the best record in the ACC. They've added excellent players from the transfer portal, in particular Cam Ward, transfer from Washington State. He has a lot of potential. They have they have the top 10 units in running back and receiving. So, this is Mario Cristobal's third season, and he's had a less impressive record with the U. He's only 12-13, so he has to win this year. And the team should win the ACC. Now, getting to the crux of this question, when it comes to college football, to me, is more of a tale of unpredictability. And the reason why it's unpredictable is because of the changes with the NIL and the transfer portal. That has drastically changed this game. With players entering the transfer portal and switching to different teams, it's very difficult to predict which teams are better. I mean, let's look at the preseason college AP poll. They listed Florida State was ranked number 10. They've already lost their first 2 games to non-ranked teams and basically have no shot of winning the ACC title now. Clemson was ranked number 14, and they were stomped by Georgia, 34-3. So pundits are very critical of Dabnell Sweeney because they say he refuses to acquiesce to recruiting players from the transfer portal. And, these old school coaches, they will have to adjust to the current situation in college football. I mean, that's the reason why Nick Saban left. He didn't want to deal with the changing times in college football. So analysts are going to have difficult times handicapping these games. It's the nature of the current beast. And, that transfer portal, that means every year you got players switching. So, I mean, how are you going to be able to predict how teams are going to fare when the teams are not the same? You always got, obviously, new recruits coming in, but the transfer portal really and the NIL has really changed the issue. Now, whether or not these pundits and, analysts were good at predicting before, I'm going to say they had a good idea who the top teams are. Now, when you get at least the top 5 teams, but when you get down to 25 teams, I mean, anything is possible with those teams. It's very difficult to predict. But yeah, so far they've been way off. without. They have not been well with their preseason predictions at all. But I still think it's not because they just don't know. I just think now it's very, very difficult to predict because of that transfer portal. And it's just things are different in college football. It's a new animal, and you got to change with the times. And a lot of these stubborn coaches really don't want to do this. They don't want to do it. So, I mean, I have to give kudos to Nick Saban. He knew he didn't want to adjust. That's why he got the hell on out. And Dabnell Sweeney, they're going to force his behind out because, Clemson, he got to change because Clemson, those people in South Carolina, they ain't going to deal with Clemson being a bad team. Clemson's always been a top team. So you got to get a young coach in there who knows how to work the portal. That's what you got to do. That's what the Hurricanes did. They worked the portal this year, and they were able to get great transfers. So that's the name of the game. NIL, the transfer portal.
All right, First Lady, on that note, please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Sophia Bromberg on Shout Out Part 1. Sound like a...
The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout-out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Sophia Bromberg.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today we are featuring music from Sophia Bromberg out of San Francisco from her hit album, Spice. They say Sophie Bromberg is an R&B/soul singer, multi-instrumentalist, and a songwriter. Her music epitomizes the modern notion of neo-soul, drawing inspiration from Sade, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, Sanoa Algara. I might be pronouncing her name wrong. I'm not sure. I don't think I've heard of her before. But and Cleo Soul. All right, DJ, let's hear.
Come on over, chilly, let me light your fire. We can get to cooking on, it's been a while. I can get down, just give me the spice. We in a sticky situation like sushi rice. Come on over, chilly, let me light your fire. We can get to cooking on, it's been a while. I can get down, just give me the spice. We in a sticky situation. Recipe calls for a touch of your skin. Hold off on the salt, I'm your new seasoning. Baby, don't you run so fast. You know I'm not cool with that. Knock off your shoes, here's a work on mat. Jazzing me up, but isn't to me scared. Shabba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Come on over, chilly, let me light your fire. We can get to cooking on, it's been a while. I can get down, just give me the spice. We in a sticky situation like sushi rice. Come on over, chilly, let me light your fire. We can get to cooking on, it's been a while. I can get down, just give me the spice. We in a sticky situation. Feeling the heat in the back of my lungs. Burning a fire, coming straight from the sun. Yeah. Chilly, can you stop real quick? No, I didn't sign up for this. Cut the air, it's getting kinda thick. Don't you ask for one more kiss. Come on over, chilly, let me light your fire. We can get to cooking on, it's been a while. I can get down, just give me the spice. We in a sticky situation like sushi rice. Come on over, chilly, let me light your fire. We can get to cooking on, it's been a while. I can get down, just give me the spice. We in a sticky situation. Nobody ever told me love and spice were the same. Chili's got me sweating and forgetting my name. Burgundy eyes, heartburn is real. Baby face wrapped up in your whip appeal. Now hold up, let me run this recipe back. When did it call for 2 cups of your crap? Stirring the pot in the wrong direction. Intersection, tell me, do we have a connection? I'm kinda getting the feeling that this ain't right. Did your lips have a little too much spice? Looking deep into your burgundy eyes. Come on over, chilly, let me light your fire. I'm kinda getting the feeling that this ain't right. Did your lips have a little too much spice? Looking deep into your burgundy eyes. Come on over, chilly. Come on over, chilly, let me light your fire. We can get to cooking on, it's been a while. I can get down, just give me the spice. We in a sticky situation like sushi rice. Come on over, chilly, let me light your fire. We can get to cooking on, it's been a while. I can get down, just give me the spice. We in a sticky situation like sushi rice. Come on over, chili, let me light the fire. We can get to cooking, oh, it's been a while. I can get down, just give me the spice. We in a sticky situation.
All right. That was Sophia Bromberg with her neo soul style. I'm gonna shout the song out. She covered everything. She did her neo soul thing and she was rapping. So I'm definitely gonna shout it out. Shouting it out. Well, all right, Spitface, you hitting the mute or you gonna shout it out?
Hey, as hot as that track was, I got to shout it out. Yeah, hey, Chili got it going on.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Well, part 2 of Shout Out will featuring more music from Sophia Bromberg. All right, it's football season and it's time, and we got to welcome our favorite underwater surfer. Is that the sound of him? All right, it's time for Flip It.
Faster than lightning, no one you see is smarter than he. And we know weather lives in a world full of wonder, lying there under the sea.
All right, Flipper's jumping up and down. He's all happy. The NFL season is back, and he's like rooting for the Dolphins, which we can kind of understand. But so it's time for Flipper, where hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. At last report, I don't think anything has changed. Dak Prescott is waiting for the Cowboys to give him a fat check. We wonder, should they defend? Yes, they should show Dak the money if they want to be competitive and have a shot at the Super Bowl over the next few years. The hardest thing to find in the NFL is not a good quarterback, not a good running back, not a good receiver, not a good or competitive middle linebacker. It's the quarterback position. Finding that quarterback who can provide the stability you need to be competitive and manage your team, somewhat like the coach, with the pieces that you give him. Now, some quarterbacks have better pieces than others, so they can appear better as a quarterback than they really are. Then there are others who've proven that, look, I'm an elite QB, and those are hard to find. So you can gamble and give away what you have for, quote, what the future can be. But you better make darn sure that you got that future in place, or you'll be running around here like the bears, wandering through the wilderness, wishing you had a quarterback, somebody competitive. Now, Dak has his, there are pros and cons to Dak, but the man is a top 10 quarterback. He's going to be a top 10 quarterback this season. He's going to be a top 10 quarterback next season. What Dallas needs to do to get them into the Super Bowl is not all dependent on Dak. Other people on the team have to, do some things. and that's up there, and that's the coach and what gets brought around him to play. Okay, again, there's the thing called pay me now, or you're going to end up having to pay him later. Pay the man now. He is your best shot at getting to a Super Bowl, while Jerry Jones is still on this side of the ground. First Lady, defend.
Well, I'm with you, and not sure why Jerry Jones and the Cowboys haven't gotten this deal done. I mean, you're talking about pay me now and pay me later. Well, that's where they are. Believe it or not, they are at pay me later because they could have paid him when it was due for an extension, but they chose not to do it at that time. Now they waited. The market is the market, and it is Jerry's fault because they should have secured that contract when they could have extended that. And it was obviously less than what the current market is. Now, if Trevor Lawrence is making $55 million, Tua making $53.1, and Jared Goff making $53 million, you would expect Dak to be in the same ball field, if not more. This is what the current market predicts for quarterbacks. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is only making $45 million, and he's currently back. So that just tells you how the market moves. And when you need to make those when you need to extend your players, extend them when you did. That's what the KC did. They extended Patrick Mahomes at that time because they knew. I mean, come on now. Shoot, Patrick Mahomes should be getting $70 million if all these players are getting $50 million. So, I mean, let's just talk about it. Now, the Cowboys don't really have too many options because if they allow Dak to play out this season, he will definitely be out of the Cowboys' reach because there are too many teams that will still need a quarterback. The Giants, the Raiders, I believe the Vikings, because now their rookie quarterback suffer of major injury. So the Cowboys are really flirting with mediocrity if they don't re-sign Dak. They need to re-sign Dak. Who are they going to get to replace Dak? I mean, I know how stubborn Jerry Jones is. He's very stubborn. But this decision or lack of decision may have epic catastrophe written all over it for the Cowboys if they don't re-sign Dak Prescott. They got to re-sign this man. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. You know, Jerry is the GM. He's the owner GM, and he's everything to Cowboys. But he is making some bad decisions. That's all I'm saying, Spitface. Bad decisions. Got to re-sign him.
All right. Well, we're going to flip the script at the thin. Dak's record is what it is, and it ain't one of Super Bowl appearances or victories. Keep that checkbook closed. Now, I think to put things into context, we really have to start looking at the future of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones will not be around forever. But more to it, Dak is starting to occur as a better Tony Romo. You know, really, it's the stats of a Pro Bowl quarterback, the stats of an elite quarterback. But you just never can win the big games, the ones that propel, that when you, and that's playoff. You know, there was a time when Peyton Manning was regarded as the best regular season quarterback ever because he couldn't win in the playoffs. But eventually he broke that and won the big game. So, but that dynamic has not happened. And I won't say it's Dak's fault that, you know, he gets to pad his stats at the end of games where they beating up on teams that don't have a winning record. That ain't his fault. but a little bit inside the numbers. And there's a point where you go, it's not Dak, it's What is the chemistry, the players we need that will, get us there? And I'm sure Jerry Jones is looking down south to the team a couple of 100 miles to the south of his team that has a rookie quarterback darn near get them in the AFC Championship game. And when was the last time the Cowboys were in the NFC Championship game? Never under Dak. That's called a never. So, is this the right combination? So, if they let Dak play out and he gets them to a Super Bowl, well, hey, they'll come up with the money. But if it's going to be the same result where, we're going to get to the playoffs and not win, or, we're in as a wild card and win that first round, but then we don't go any further, do you really, it's time to do something. So, keep that checkbook closed. First Lady, defend.
Let's just put it this way. Even though the market speaks loudly and, speaks very loudly that Dak is due a big payday, I understand why Jerry Jones does not want to write this check for Dak. He's great in the regular season. He was in the top 3 for MVP, but he comes up very, very small during the critical time of the year, and that be the postseason. I mean, he has a record of 2-5. He's only won 2 wild card games and never won a divisional playoff game. The Cowboys' defeat last year to the Packers was an embarrassing loss, which has triggered Jerry not to give Dak a contract extension. He actually had 3 touchdowns and threw 2 critical interceptions during that game. So, I mean, you say what you want to say. Dak, he's done well during the regular season, but it's just the postseason is what makes players a superstar and what makes players to get that big payday. I mean, it's too risky for the Cowboys to pay Dak $60 million and expect him to be better in the playoffs. It's not going to happen. He hasn't shown that he can play well in the playoffs. So, I mean, the Cowboys are better off, to me, letting Dak walk or trading Dak for a younger quarterback or drafting one and getting lucky like the 49ers did with Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. That's all.
The 49ers did get lucky.
I said get lucky like the 49ers.
They got lucky. They got, I don't know if they Catholic or what.
That's what I said. They got to get lucky.
They got lucky.
Yes, they did.
All right. Okay, well, First Lady, over to you for more Flip It.
Aaron Rodgers will finally start the season for the New York Jets. We wonder, will he be the Aaron of old or an old Aaron Rodgers? Panel defense. When was the last time Aaron played? When was the last time he played a full season? How old is Aaron? He may not be obsolete, but we will see an old Aaron. All right. Panel defend. Go ahead, Spitface.
First Lady, I was listening to President Joe Biden, and he was talking about how he may have been, born when the Constitution was written, but he wasn't obsolete. And I started, and you look at, I'm looking at Aaron, and I'm going, it seems like he hasn't played in the last couple of years. And he was already, quote, I'll say, an old quarterback. And a couple of years ago, I think he was where Tom Brady was, where, hey, I'll win a Super Bowl on you and stay competitive, but you could tell the edge was gone. But he was just so good. And 2 years ago, I would have just said Aaron is still so good that any drop off he can make up in other areas. But it's been a couple of years, and Father Time often is not kind. And a couple of years of not having game action, dealing with the grind of the season, your body, I'll say, may be re-energized, but it may not be at the level of being able to take it the way you were. You've just gotten older. So I think we will see. I think we will see an old Aaron, not an obsolete, but we will see that, dude. This might be your last season.
All right, we're going to see an old Aaron because it's his last season. Well, don't you just love the NFL schedulers? I mean, they have Aaron Rodgers returning to the first game on Monday Night Football after he tore his Achilles last year on the first game of Monday Night Football. Now, do you really think Aaron Rodgers wants to return to the scene of the crime, even though it's not the scene of the crime because it was happening in Buffalo? But still, it was on Monday Night Football. So why are they having him coming back on Monday Night Football? I don't know. But anyway, he hasn't played basically an entire season. He played in the NFL. This is his 19th year. 19 years. Now, granted, he played 3 years behind Brett Favre, yet he still has a lot of miles on his treads. And he's 40 years old. So, unfortunately, at age 40, can he defy Father Time? I don't think so. Tom Brady and LeBron James are the only two athletes that can defy Father Time. Rodgers definitely recuperated quickly from his Achilles tear, but at his age and the type of injury he had, I'm not going to say it's going to be apparent that Rodgers is an old man and he's going to perform like an old Aaron, but, I mean, it's going to be very difficult for him to really perform well because, missing that 1 year and at his age and the type of injury he has, it's going to be really difficult for him to do well this season. But I know the Jets are banking on it because they sure did give up a lot to get Aaron Rodgers. And, it's going to be a shame, because we know what's going on with the Jets and their futility regarding the playoffs and getting to the playoffs. But it's just one of those things, Aaron Rodgers, he's a great quarterback, one of the top 10 quarterbacks of all time, but he's an old man, and, I just hate to say it, it looks like he's very old man walking, Aaron. Old man walking. That's all I can say about Aaron Rodgers at this stage. All right. We're going to flip the script, though. All right, panel, defend. He got skills and something left in the tank. The old guy might just teach the young boys some new tricks. All right, spit-face defend.
Aaron Rodgers was gifted with a lot of physical talent. And I think that because he's had because of that physical talent, oftentimes really how smart a quarterback he is and how much he waits for that opening to get you. He got the physical talent, but he is smart. And, there's going to be some degradation. But even with the degradation, he's still athletically, athletically competitive. And that's all he needs because he'll be making the right decisions. He'll be hitting the right person. So, no, he may not be able, and he can still burn you. He can still, if you make that mistake, he's going to get you. So, I think he will be teaching some of the new guys some tricks like, oh, I didn't know he could spot that. Yes, he can. So, there's going to be some degradation. Now, the only worry is, can the Jets protect him? Can the Jets protect him? Now, can the Jets produce a running game? Because if the Jets can protect him and they can produce a running game, then they're gonna make some noise. That's what I'm saying, First Lady. The old man, all right, he got something in the tank.
Yeah, he got something left in the tank. I know what you mean if the Jets can protect him. I mean, Aaron may be old for football at 40 years old, but age is just a number, and Rodgers has proven that he still can play at an elite level. I mean, let's face it, he won the MVP in 2021 when he was 38 years old. His skills haven't deteriorated. I mean, like you said, there may be some slippage, but not completely deteriorated. He was just injured in his first year with the Jets. You know, he was injured. It was because of slippage. He was just injured. I mean, he had a torn Achilles. I mean, that's difficult to come back from, and he came back very quickly from it. And they thought he was going to play last year, but you know, they decided to go against that. I mean, if they had any choice for the playoffs, and you know, good thing they didn't, because they really need Aaron to have a full season of full recuperation, and the fact that he can still play. Aaron, you know, and Aaron has a lot to prove. And I'm going to take it from this particular point of view. You remember he got kicked out by the Packers because they actually kicked him to the curb for Jordan Love. And if you remember, Jordan Love had a damn good season last year. And he got the Green Bay Packers to the playoff. So that's saying a lot. So Aaron definitely has a lot to prove, because he was very upset that they chose Love. You know, they was like, you chose my predecessor? I mean, what's going on here? What's going on here? My replacement you're choosing while I'm still here? He was very, very upset about that. So I know he wants to prove a point that he still has it. You know, Aaron Rodgers is very cerebral. You know, he thinks he's the smartest person in the room. So, so I believe with his skill set, his ability to think, I think he's going to be good for the Jets this year. And, you know, history just can't happen again. He just can't tear his Achilles again. I just don't see that happening. I really don't see him being injured. I mean, I would imagine after he tore his Achilles, it's probably stronger now than it has ever been with the surgery. So I look for Aaron Rodgers to have a great season. And you're right. Can the offensive line protect Aaron Rodgers? You know, they didn't protect Wilson, the kid that they had. I mean, by the time he dropped back, he was already on the ground. So you got an old 40-year-old over there, so you better do better. So hopefully they did address that offensive line for the Jets. I really hope they did. I haven't really heard too much whether they did or not, but that's something that they're going to have to do. But I think Aaron Rodgers will have a great year, and he just got a lot to prove. He's just an excellent quarterback. You got to give him his due, and he's going to make the best out of it. All right, Face, over to you.
Well, on the other side of the break, we have another performance from Sophia Bromberg on Shout Out Part 2. Please, please, please stay tuned.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe. To get a shout-out from the crew, Spitface, over to you.
All right. We have another performance from Sophia Bromberg. DJ, let's hear Sesame. Sesame.
Toast and maple leaves woven through her hair, sweet like honeybees. She don't really care. Daughter of the sun, sister to descendant of the sea, little sesame, my little sesame. Don't you cry, the river needs the salt in your eye, my little sesame. I'm coming home, let's fall inside. Can't burn you no more, breathing in and out the waves of yesterday. Angel of the stars, she carried the moon away. Highest in the hills, she tells the rain to pour, whispers in the wind, what are you asking for? Born into a flame, a golden oil's kiss, ember silhouette, her presence you won't miss, my little sesame. Don't you cry, the river needs the salt in your eye, my little sesame. I'm coming home, let's roll inside. Can't burn you no more that I can do. Don't you cry, the river needs the salt in your eye, my little sesame. I'm coming home, let's roll inside. No more that I can do. Away with you. No more, no more, no more. Away. No more that I can do.
All right, that was Sophia Bromberg with Sesame. And First Lady, is it getting the shout out or the mute button?
Oh, no. It definitely is getting the shout out. I really thought this song really displayed the range in her voice and the text, her voice in general. I really like the song, and I'm definitely shouting it out. Very nice.
Well, all right. Well, I'm shouting it out as well. She showed a little bit of her Sade influence on the track. It was hers, but you could respect the influence. She really, really nice. Now, that is the end of shout out. Check out Sophia Bromberg on Spotify and the Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, over to you.
All right, it's time for first week of the Pigskin Picks, Week 1, 2024. Are you ready for some football? All right, let's go. Winners and losers, 10 million points. Man, we starting out really high here. Okay. All right, let's get to it. Ravens versus the Chiefs. All right, I'm going to go with those Chiefs. You know, I can't go against Patrick Mahomes. Can he be? I'm trying to remember. Has anybody three-peated before?
The Pittsburgh
you know
Steelers.
That? Oh, the Steelers did? The Steelers back in with Joe Mean Green and them, they won 3 straight games, 3 straight Super Bowls? All right.
3 straight, then lost, and then won 2 straight.
Straight. All right. Well, we know they were a dynasty with Terry Bradshaw, Joe Mean Green, and who else was on that? There was a lot of people on that team, but yes, that was the team. Boy, Pittsburgh. Now, we know Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record, but they still mediocre. All right. They wish they could get back to them Pittsburgh Steelers days. So anyway, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Dizzy Mack is going with the Ravens. Who you going with, Spitface?
Home team, Chiefs.
All right, going with the home team. All right, Packers versus the Eagles. All right, Dizzy Mack has the Eagles. Who you have, Spitface?
Flying high with them boys.
All right, well, I'm flying high with the Eagles also. Titans versus the Bears. All right, Spitface, who do you have?
I'm going to roll with them Bearskis.
All right, Caleb Williams, first start. And the first start for the Bears, hopefully he could bring the Bears back up from back into reality, back into that their known notoriety. Who knows? But anyway, I'm gonna go with the Bears also. Dizzy Mack has the Bears. Texans versus the Colts. Well, I'm going with the Texans. CJ Stroud is just something special. And that Texan team, man, they know how to build a team with a young quarterback. I'm going with the Texans. Dizzy Mack is going with the Colts. Spitface, who you going? Because you like to go with the home team, but are you rooting against?
I'm riding with the Texans. It's not going to be a blowout. It's not going to be a blowout.
But you riding with the Texans. All right, but you riding with the Texans. All right. Jaguars versus the Dolphins. Dizzy Mack has the Jaguars. Who do you have, Spitface?
I'm going with them fish. I'm going with the Dolphins.
Well, that's who I'm going with too, the Dolphins. I mean, Dolphins got to win their opening season game at Hard Rock Stadium. All right, the Cowboys versus the Browns. I believe that game is Friday. Yes, the game is Friday. Spitface, who you going with?
This is the game that's in Brazil?
I believe so. Is it the game?
This is the Sao Paulo.
Tonight's game is the Chiefs versus the Ravens. So Cowboys Browns is on Friday.
Yeah, so that's in Sao Paulo. Okay. Man, if the Browns were really at home, I would go with the Browns. But they're on the road, and Dak has something to prove, and the Browns, as of now, don't have a winning record. I'm going to go with them Cowboys.
All right, you going with the Cowboys.
Yeah, because I don't really consider this a home game for the Browns.
How about it is a home game for the Browns, but they not at home.
I mean, on the schedule, but they ain't really at home. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, nah. I'm going with them Browns. Them Browns are going to be good. First of all, they got a good defense, and we know how You say they don't have a winning record. Well, how you say they don't have a winning record? The season just started, so nobody has a winning record.
I did qualify that because I said the season they started, so they give the Cowboys a better chance.
No, because we already know the Cowboys played well against teams with losing records. It's when, but the Browns are going to play. The Browns got a defense there, and all they need is Deshaun Watson to be half of what he was when he was with the Texans. So anyway, I'm going with the Browns. I'm breaking away from you and Dizzy Mac on that one. I'm going with the Browns. All right, let's move along. The Rams versus I said Dizzy Mac was the Cowboys. The Rams versus the Lions. All right, those Lions. Spitface, who you going with?
Now this one is a coin flip. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions are at home. Everybody's predicting the Lions to win the Lions to go to the Super Bowl to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. So I'm picking the Lions, and Dizzy Mac has the Lions. I don't think there's any question about that. Even the Rams are going to be good, but guess what? They do not have Aaron Donald. He retired. So I don't know if they were able to replace him, because remember, the Rams had that good defense. But we'll see how they do this year. I mean, they're expected to do better than they did last year. But anyway, let's get to our over, under, and push. These are all for $5 million. C.J. Stroud, 300 yards passing. I'm going to say under. Not that he can't do it. I just think the first season, usually, I don't know. It's either hit or miss. Either they're good offensively or they're bad offensively. So I'm going to say that they're going to be bad offensively. So he's not going to have 300 passing yards. Dizzy Mac is going with the same idea. He has under. What do you have, Spitface?
I'm going with the under.
Okay. Dak Prescott, 1 interception. Dizzy Mac has under. Spitface, what do you have?
Under.
All right. I'm going with a push because he's playing the Browns. The Browns are good on defense, and we all know Dak can throw some interceptions. All right, so I'm going, especially this year because he got a point to prove. I figured he's going to be trying to toss that ball up a lot and make some risky plays, so I'm going with the push. All right, Ravens, 200 yards rushing. Spitface, what do you have?
Under.
Really? Well, what's wrong? I'm going with over. We got a running quarterback. You got you forgot who they got now. They got Henry. Henry from the Titans is on the Ravens team. So I mean, come on now. I mean, what's his name? Could get 100 yards on his own. So anyway, I'm going with over.
I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be more passing.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you this. That's the problem with the Ravens. They need to know who their damn quarterback is. That's the reason why they lost that game to the Chiefs, because they had him trying to sling the ball like he was Patrick Mahomes when we know he does a lot of run action play, and they should have had done. They went away from their playbook, and that's the reason why they lost that game. Anyway, I digress. Let's move along. All right, Caleb Williams, 2 interceptions. All right, I'm saying under. Dizzy Mac is saying under. What are you saying, Spitface?
I'm going with the under.
Yeah, I mean, have some respect on that man's name. Putting some 2 interceptions because he's a rookie. He ain't going to have 2 interceptions. He may have 1, but he's not going to have 2 interceptions. Come on now. All right, those are predictions for the new season. I'm so excited. All right, what is the top story to watch this week? Spitface, what is your top story to watch this week?
My top story to watch this week is Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones. Is he going to see the money?
All right. Oh, no, he ain't going to see any money. If they didn't give him the money before, why do you think they're going to pay him now? Oh, no. He's not going to get the money. He's not going to. My top story is how Mr. Aaron Rodgers will perform with the Jets. Can he make it through for the game or by? You know, I mean, like I told you, They got them returning on Monday Night Football. I know them Jets are really scared. What's going to happen to Aaron Rodgers? I think that, to me, that is the big story to watch this first week. All right. Well, you know what? I have to give kudos to Caitlin Clark. She was able to get the Indiana Fevers to the playoffs. This team has had a losing record, and this young lady has come in and she has empowered her team along with Alicia. What's Alicia? I forgot Alicia's last name. But anyway, her she played for South Carolina. They worked together, and now the Indiana Fever are going to the playoffs. So kudos to Caitlin Clark. Boy, oh boy, has she changed the landscape of the WNBA. Can't say enough about Caitlin Clark. All right, join us as we honor our veteran women on November 16th, 2024 in Houston, Texas, and streaming live on your favorite device. To learn more, please honorOurVeteranWomen.com. Check out our current and previous episodes of Bras, Panties, and Sports.com at our Facebook page, BP and Sports. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk. Spitface, you have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. And we are so happy it's football time. See you next week.